Hello.
Episode 10.
Oh, it's episode 10.
I can't believe it's episode 10. We have done 10 whole episodes.
Aww.
Happy 10th birthday.
That's really cute.
That is cute. We made it.
Right.
By the skin of our teeth. We've actually got something really exciting today as well. Like,
The gender.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, we're doing gender
Like,
reveal.
This is really exciting.
I know the gender, obviously.
We are doing Tyler's baby gender reveal. And the excitement has been... It's killing me.
I found out on Monday, and we're on Wednesday, and Demi knows that I found out on Monday. So
but I thought it would be nice for you guys.
And nice for you.
Yeah. I feel like we just need to do it because I'm really
Yeah,
excited. So
yeah,
my
true.
guess is that it's a girl. I think it's a little... I need to have... How do you wear
What
your
are all
glasses?
your... What do you mean, how do I wear them? I just
'Cause
put
it
them on my
just-
head.
Bounces back.
What does?
You don't feel like the light bounces back?
Oh, Demi, but I wear my glasses
Oh,
24/7.
see, I don't.
That's probably why.
Yeah, mine are filthy
I'm
as well.
blind.
Yeah, put your guesses. What is baby in orbit? Is it a boy or is it a girl?
And I don't have the original envelope. I have one that had my wage slip in because I threw away the envelope and I was like, oh, I'll keep the piece of paper for memories. And then I realised earlier that, oh wait, there's no envelope for Demi to take the piece of paper out of. Oh, we did a private reveal to ourselves.
Yeah,
We got a private scan because I can't wait.
No, I can't.
Scan. I was like, I'm paying for one. We're going to it. I need to know. I want to find out. And then we asked them to put it in an envelope, and we took it away and went somewhere that was special to us. And then we opened it, and then we went back and we had a curry. We got to take
And
away.
the weather was beautiful.
Oh, it was
The
so
weather
sunny
was
on
stunning.
Monday.
It was. It was hot. It was beautiful. It was just... And you did it on Blair's birthday.
Yeah, I know.
My baby is
And-
now 1.
And it was Tom's granddad who's passed away, his birthday too.
Oh, what a beautiful day. That's lovely. Oh, I'm so excited.
So it was very nice. Sorry, I just had to fix my hair because I saw an issue. In the camera. Right, so the paper is folded in half inside of the envelope. But if you want to take, I don't know, do you want to
I'm
take
going
it
to
out?
close my eyes.
Right.
I'm going to open it and close
Right,
my
there
eyes.
you go. I already
Oh
know
my
and I'm
God.
excited. I'm just
Would I be able to
right, so keep your eyes closed.
Yeah.
You're opening it towards you. So do you want the camera to see first?
Go on then. Let the
So-
camera eat.
Wait, I need to turn it round.
I nearly
So
opened
let
then.
the camera eat. The camera eats first. Okay, camera's eaten.
It's a girl. Stop it.
I told you, I fucking knew it. I felt it in my bones.
Congratulations.
I had two
Oh.
dreams that it was a girl, and I was like, if I open this fucking envelope, my dreams are wrong.
It's a girl.
It's a girl.
Oh no, that is lovely.
I know.
I mean, it would still have been lovely if it was a boy.
Of course,
but it's a
it would have been
girl.
absolutely lovely. But it's a girl.
Tyler has been so poorly.
Oh,
so poorly.
ill.
And I feel like, I know you're petite anyway, but I feel like you're showing already.
I am.
And
I'm just in a weird fat in between stage.
I feel like girls, you just get big.
Do ya?
Yeah.
Great.
I feel like you bump more and you just hold it more with
But
a girl.
I'm just feeling like I'm feeling wide. Do you know, like my hips?
That's what
are
they
wide.
Yeah, they say that, which is, I don't know what. Boys are more like compacting in the front, but girls are more rounded.
Yeah, I'm feeling like my hips
I mean,
are
I don't
wide.
think you look wide, but
No, but obviously none of my clothes fit me. It's a girl.
oh my goodness.
So exciting.
Yeah, so that is why I thought it was a girl. I just thought, I just feel like she's...
I just thought it was anyway.
Oh,
And then
Tom's gonna be a girl dad.
I know, and do you know what? He wanted to be. He was so excited.
Obviously, you don't know Tom. Some of you might, but knowing Tom, he is gonna be the most protective, cutest, loveliest girl
He's
dad
gonna be
ever.
the best girl dad ever. And he said to me, he said, "Oh, I want a boy," he said, "but I feel like I only want a boy in my head because I'm a man, and like
Yeah.
that's what you're supposed to Like men just they
One's
want,
at
they
your
want a boy.
football, or
Yeah.
one you do golf,
But then
or
he
do
went-
this, that.
But in my heart, I really want a girl, and I went. I think you like. I got that vibe off of him, and we're also the first ones to bring a girl to Tom's. Well, not to his family. He's got sisters, but like his sisters have had boys. His cousins have had boys.
Oh my goodness.
So like, we needed a girl in the mix, and I have said since. Not the moment I met him, but probably like a year in. I said to him, "We'll bring the first girl." I said, "When we have a baby, we'll have the first girl." And then his sister had a gender reveal like a year and a half ago, and it was a boy. And I said when we went in, "Should we having another boy? It's a third boy." And he was like, "No." And then when she did it, I was like, "We'll have the girl." Like I was like, "See, she had a boy." I was like, "I know we'll have the girl." And then his other sister turned around to me, who's also got a boy. She said, I want to have the first girl. And I was like, you won't have the first girl. I'm having the first girl.
Oh,
but his sister's also pregnant. So she might have a girl, but she's behind me. So we don't know. She hasn't even had a 12-week scan yet. So we don't know how far along she is. But I'm going to be pregnant. Well, I am pregnant at the same time as Tom's sister,
That's
which is
so
really cute.
When's she due? I just don't know.
Well, she'll be November, but she's not had a dating scan yet. So just going off of.
Oh, that is lovely. I don't know if I've told you guys this story, but if you remember in 2018 to 2019, a show come out called Haunting on a Hill House, and it was on Netflix.
Oh, the Netflix one,
Yes,
the scary one.
Yes,
yeah.
And there was a little girl in it called Nal, and I really liked the name. And apparently Nal is short for Eleanor.
Oh.
But I loved Now, and it's funny because Con loves the name Eleanor because Gone in 60 Seconds, or I can't remember what car film it is, but there's a Ford called Eleanor in it.
Oh.
And that's why he likes that name, and he always said, when I get that car, it's going to be called Eleanor. So like it was funny because I really liked Nell and he really liked Eleanor, but then I was worried being Brummy that people would be like, what have you just said? Because I'm quite nasally sometimes.
What do you
I feel
mean?
like I overpronounce, like when I say Nell. Now. So I thought if I had Nelly, I could shorten it to Now, and they'd understand that it was Now. I'm dribbling and everything over here. I think I've got a touch of hay fever.
Do you need a moment? Do you need some tissue?
So yeah. Oh, so excited.
How excited!
And then Blair was Blair from the get-go because I liked Blair for a girl.
And you were like, fuck it.
Well, do you know what? I really liked Blair for a girl. And when I found out I had a boy, I was a bit like, because I feel like Blair's going to... I don't know now, but at the time, Blair was definitely going to be our last because my pregnancy with Nelly was really bad. I said I wouldn't have another one after Nelly. Con really had to persuade me to have another one.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, really bad. So, Con's an only child, and he come to me the one day and was like, Dem, I'm an only child. I hated it growing up. You got no one to play with. This, that and the other.
Yep,
I'm seeing in Nelly that she doesn't know how to share. It's a really hard lesson. You get only child syndrome, all of this.
I have a 3-year-old sister, so technically it doesn't count. I relate.
Yeah.
So
then he kept saying it, and I was like, I don't know, because my pregnancy was really bad. But then I did also like the idea of having another baby. Like, it's just something special when your partner tells you that they want a baby, isn't it? It's like a...
Oh, God, I'd be like, put one in me then.
Yeah, it's like, it's a lovely feeling,
take
isn't
me.
it?
Just give me a baby.
So yeah, and then I remember going to we went soft play at the end of summer, and I took Nelly loads of places over the summer. And her best friend is also an only child. So we did a lot of things with her. But then they went on holiday. So I went to a few events on this week, just me and Nelly, and it was hard. And it wasn't hard in regards to me. Yeah, she didn't enjoy it. She kept calling me over. Everyone had someone. And particularly when we went to soft play, everyone had a cousin or a friend or a brother or whatever. And Nelly had no one. And I was going round with her, and I just felt really bad for her that everyone was playing and there was just her. And I could tell she wasn't enjoying it. And at that moment was when I decided we need another one.
I relate to that, especially if there's no other like family. Like I had an auntie that was a year older than me. So I would do a lot of stuff with her. So if we were going on a day out somewhere, it'd be like, she would come, I'd go with them, or like So although I was an only child, I also had cousins my age.
And I couldn't imagine not having my brothers. Like,
Yeah.
I come from one
So
of
imagine
4.
that for your child.
Yeah.
But see, I don't know how many to have. I at least want 2. I used to say I wanted 4, but being pregnant is tough.
Yeah, it is.
I'm like, do I want to be pregnant 4 times?
Yeah. See, this is what got me onto that is my pregnancy with Blair. I did really suffer, but not in the way that you've obviously suffered. You've suffered pregnancy related and everything else going on, bless you. But I have a hernia that needs removing. So that caused me jib through my pregnancy. But other than that, my pregnancy was beautiful and I really loved it. And my bump with Blair was different, like you said. You carry different. I wasn't itchy, whereas with Nelly, my whole pregnancy, the birth, everything. And I just remember just loving the whole of my pregnancy with Blair. And I thought I could do this again. And obviously it was cut short because at 7 months, my waters broke. So my pregnancy was cut short. And I remember feeling a little bit robbed and thinking, oh, I was enjoying that kind of thing. However, my hernia did obviously take over in the end anyway. So, but yeah.
Your hernia didn't cause him to come early, did it?
No, I don't think so. I don't really know what caused him to come early. Yeah.
I was going to say, hopefully the hernia
but
doesn't have anything
I
to
am
do with
interested because I said this con the other day. I ended up in emergency section because my waters had broken. They let me go for a month. I had to go in hospital every week doing bloods, and I'm needle phobic, so that wasn't great for me. But observing me, making sure that I had no infection, because obviously when your waters break, you're at risk of infection. And as long as you haven't, they try and keep the baby up there because obviously it gives them time to grow, and it's important.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I went a whole month.
Wait.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, weird, isn't it?
That's so weird. Because in my head, if your water's break, you need to birth it.
Honestly, right. I know we've kind of made this into like a birthing. Sorry, guys.
We will talk about
but yeah, this is what happened to me. So I know it's ridiculous, but when you watch films, when you watch TV programs, anything, every time someone's waters break, they're in labour. They're bent over and they're in labour. So I was actually going to Wicked with my friend in theatre, and I went to the toilet thinking, oh, I better go for a wee before I go. And I felt a little bit weird all day anyway, but not ill, not like the baby was coming. And I went to the toilet and I thought, oh, I wet myself.
Oh.
And then I went for a wee, stood up, and again more water was gushing out of me.
Did it gush?
Yeah. Not like all in one fluke, but it was gushing and then gushing.
And does
whatever.
it not feel like a wee? Because a wee is coming out your pee hole, isn't it? So
no, it feels like...
It feels like a wee?
I don't know, because
God.
Okay, TMI, but you know when you get a bit of discharge?
Yeah.
And you leak a bit and you're like, oh.
Yeah.
It's like that, but a lot.
Oh.
Yeah, so it doesn't feel like you're weeing. It's like, oh. But a lot of it, or like when you're on your period and you get a bit of blood and you get that feeling and you're like, oh, I've just come on. It's like that, but mine was obviously a lot more. But mine wasn't a full-blown, whew.
What did you do then if you were at the theatre?
Oh, no, I wasn't at the theatre. I was gone for a wee here. I was just about to go. And I literally held onto the sink. As you know, it's right next to my toilet. And I was like, oh my God, my waters are gone. I'm sure that's my waters. And I texted my group. I rang Con first going, my waters are broken. He was like, nah. No, they haven't. You're joking. And I went, no, Con, my waters are fucking gone. Why would I joke about that? Like, it wasn't funny.
Yeah, like that's
I'm
not fucking funny, is it?
I'm gripping onto the sink thinking... I'm going to be in agony in a minute. I'm going to be in agony. I'm not ready. Yeah, I'm not ready. I'm panicking. And then my friend come and she was downstairs and I took a picture of the floor and I said to my family, my waters have gone, and they were like, what? I'm like, I'm sure my waters have gone, and I took a picture of this puddle of water on the floor and they were like, because my dad wasn't here, my mum was away, and I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? What am I going to do?
Where was Con?
Just gone to pick Nelly up from his mum. So it wasn't far. But I'd actually said to Con, will you go get Nelly so I can say goodbye to her before I go to the theatre? Because obviously I'm not going to be back till late tonight. And yeah, my waters are broke. But the funniest thing about it was...
That's so scary.
Yeah, when I got in the car and everything, because I was panicking at this point. You know how hospital phobias and everything I am.
Yeah.
I'm in the car and I'm panicking and I'm like, oh my God, I feel sick. And I rang the midwife on my way to the hospital and she said, you probably weed yourself, just... There's no point coming up.
Are you joking?
No, I'm not joking. And I was like, oh, well, I'm on my way up now. And she was like, oh, well, you'll be waiting a long time. Her voice changed. She was fuming that I was on my way up. And when I got to the waiting room, they actually made me wait a long time, a very long time, because they were
What?
adamant my waters
What?
hadn't gone.
I'll bleep it, but which hospital was that?
George Eliot. That was my only, but apparently they do say that because it's dilating, isn't it? Unless you're about to go, even when your water's bright, they send you home because you could go days. Your water's good bright, you could go days.
Yeah, this so.
So then I went. They finally seen me through, and the woman was lovely, and I was like, I'm really sorry. I'm actually panicking now that I've just wet myself. I said I'm worried that I've wasted your time because nothing happened then. But because I was sat down.
Yeah, and I bet you were expecting to start going into labour.
Yeah. So then I thought, I'm going to be sent home in pure sheer embarrassment here.
You'd have just bitched yourself.
Yeah, and when she examined me, she was like, even she looked at me and like, she was like, your waters are gone. She's like, it's your waters. And she was like, okay, don't panic because I don't think you're dilated. We need to check that, blah, blah, blah. I checked it all over and baby wasn't coming. But yeah, so.
So then you had, from when your waters broke,
Oh.
when did you then have
a month
him?
later.
And was it fine for that month? Were you fine for that month?
No. So when my waters broke, I had to stay in overnight to monitor me and whatever, which was horrendous because I was tired and all I could hear was women screaming. And the woman next to me was clearly like quite far gone and she was going, oh, oh. In the end, I needed my earphones. And then I had to have steroid injection. Fuck me. I am going to pre-warn you now. And anyone listening, if you've had it, you will know it kills. It is not okay. Now, I am needle phobic, but that, and the funniest thing about it was, everyone that knows me and has had it never told me that it was bad.
Well,
And
why
then-
would they?
well,
Because
exactly.
You would have, if they said, we're going to do the steroid injection, you'd have been
No,
like, no,
no.
that's
And
the
then-
thing everyone's stopping.
Yeah, and then my mum went, how bad is it, Dam? And I went, Mum, what the hell? She was like, it's horrendous.
You couldn't
isn't it?
have been warned, though.
Oh, it was horrendous. So had that, and that's so that his lungs would give his lungs chance to grow. That's why they give you steroids to make their lungs grow in case he did come. Which I'm glad I did because obviously he was still early and his lungs were still underdeveloped. That's why he was really ill. So I'm really glad that I had that done because what state it would have been in if I didn't, I don't know. Because it's your choice at the end of the day. They can't make you do it. Had that, and then on my way I went, but then my waters just kept replenishing. It was like they replenished, leaked, and I couldn't go anywhere. For 4 weeks, I was bedbound. They bedbound me because you're at risk of infection. So obviously, working in a school, I couldn't go to school because the kids and the illnesses and stuff. And then, and then you have to be really careful. And every time I walked, I was just weeing myself. So I wore adult nappies and I was changing them constantly. It wasn't nice. And then obviously a month later he came. But what I would like to know is, and the point of this is, when it was a Sunday morning and I'd got up and I just felt a bit, And when I went to the toilet, my waters had changed to blood. Now that's obviously a bad sign.
Oh,
So I would like to know what the blood was. I don't actually know what the blood was. But whatever it was made me have an emergency section.
Really? And then you had him?
Yeah. But I need to go back onto my notes or something and look at why that happened. Because that's what made me think baby's coming. Because when they said if your water's changed greeny or blood, you need to come straight up. If it's pinky or whatever, it's fine. But if it's green or it's blood, you get your ass up
You
here.
need to have
And
baby.
green's obviously infection.
Yeah.
And blood never indicates anything good in pregnancy, does it? So I was like, oh my God, I'm leaning. Yeah.
Holy shit,
Interesting. So yeah, there's my birth story for you guys. And
so
my poor little
excited to give
babbers was
birth.
poorly. But before we wrap this quick introduction up,
But quick.
20 minutes I think, because it was running for quite a
that's
while.
not too bad.
Yeah.
Then.
I went back to work today, guys. Today
Oh.
was
Do you know what's funny? Demi went back and I handed him my notice.
we went full circle. Yeah, it was lovely. It was lovely to have a bit of structure back. Blair's first full day of nursery. That went down well. Last night was a bit emotional, but do you know, I was just saying to Tyler before we pressed the record button, it's the preempting for me I struggle with. I really struggle with knowing it's coming. I'd rather it just be here. And that's with anything in life. I don't like change. I'd rather someone make the decision for me, and I'd rather it just be here. I don't want to preempt it. I don't want to spend time worrying about it and thinking about it.
Thinking about stuff is the worst.
Yeah, just make it happen. Just do it.
Do you
just
know
get it over and done
today,
with.
I was like, I'm going to go into work today and I'm going to hand in my notice and I'm going to explain, because I'm not going to go back to work after maternity or anything. I'm going to be a stay-at-home mom.
Yeah.
And I was really, really anxious, and I thought I'll go into work and I'll tell her. Get to work, my manager's not there. And I'm like, oh my God, why is she not in today? And then she comes in. But then she goes into a meeting for like 3-4 hours. The whole team have this like meeting, and I'm like
Just let me do
waiting
it,
all day. I'm like, oh. So I walked into the meeting and I was like, do you have time to talk to me before you go home? I was like, because I thought she's just going to go home and I'm not going to be able to. And then she did come in and talk to me, but I was waiting. It was like an hour before I had to go home. The whole day, it was like 2:00. I told her. I was so anxious.
Do you know, that was like the first time I told my mum that I was pregnant. Obviously, I was young. I was living at my parents' house. And she knew. Well, she did know, because I was in Vegas and I kept texting her saying, can we meet? Can we go for lunch when I'm back? I need to talk to you.
It's either that or you just married someone.
And then she rang me and she was like, you're all right? And I was like, yeah, I can't talk to you about it right now.
We've both got the same shoes on.
Oh, yeah,
Look
mine
how
are filthy though.
Look how much bigger my feet are compared to yours.
Oh, yeah. Stop it.
That's hilarious.
My feet are diddy, aren't they?
Mine are huge.
So, yeah,
Sorry.
so she was like, oh, okay, yeah, cool, she can talk to me. And I was like, okay, cool, great. And then I was panicking. And then we met up, and I wish I'd just said it straight away when we just met up. I wish I'd just gone, I'm pregnant.
Oh, were you overthinking it?
But I kept thinking, I need to tell her, when's the right time? I need to tell her. And then we got to basically the end of our like dinner date, and I was thinking, she's about to go home and I can't do it. She's just going to have to go. And then I was eating a bit of my pizza, and my mum went, so when you due? Wow, it instantly put me off my pizza.
God.
I started crying.
Mums just know though. My mum knew I was pregnant before I knew I was pregnant.
Yeah.
Because I was like sick and stuff. I genuinely didn't think I was pregnant. So when I told her I was pregnant, she went, yeah, I knew you were when you were sick all last week. And I was like, oh. And my dad was the same. He was like, yeah, I thought you were. I was like, oh, okay. Well, I didn't think I was. Like, that did not cross my mind. And they were like, Tyler, come on, we're adults. We've had kids.
We got the label.
I'm like, oh yeah, okay. My boobs have doubled in size, right? I just feel like I just look really big on the chest. I've got a belly that just looks like I've eaten too much food, because I'm just so in between.
Yeah.
It doesn't pop like a bump yet. I just look fat.
Like no one's gonna go, oh, she's pregnant.
No one's gonna look at me and think I'm pregnant. They are just gonna look at me and think I'm fat.
You don't even look fat. I mean, you sit next to a fat girl, so my bump's probably bigger than yours. So.
This is my I can't see it on the camera.
I've actually got like
this is it's quite hard actually. This is I don't like it. And I'm so terrified of getting really fat, and then after having the baby I'm so scared of being fat, and I know that's a really ridiculous thing to say.
I feel like you haven't got that body.
That's why I'm carrying on with the Pilates. Because I'm hoping that it makes me bounce back.
Yeah. I feel like you're really petite. See, with Blair, this is how I knew before they diagnosed me with polycystic ovaries, because it's not when I'm carrying that's the issue. It's when I've had the baby, and it's when my hormones are trying to regulate. That's when I pile on the weight.
But don't scare me, because I also have polycystic ovaries.
Oh no.
But also I'm not petite. I used to be a chunky girl, and not that chunky, but I was overweight, and I spent so long getting to the point where I liked my body.
You being a chunky girl.
I got to the point where I liked my body, and then I'm pregnant. Honestly, only in the last few
when
months.
was you chunky?
Well, I got fat when I got with Tom.
Oh, was you though?
Yeah, I was pretty rounded. Yeah, I wasn't before I got with Tom. And then I got with Tom, and you know when you get in a relationship, you just let yourself go.
100%.
And I remember looking in the mirror when I got PT and everything. I said, right, I can't do this. I looked at myself and I thought, this is vile. And then lost on my weight.
I think that too, guys.
Oh yeah, we've consumed a fucking Easter egg before we recorded. By the way,
room is
there's only this much left.
Right, Tyler's gonna eat because she might as well.
No, because I ate loads of it. I ate so much of that Easter egg. I just kept sitting there going.
This room is full of Easter eggs.
Okay, right.
Friendship breakups.
Oh, that was loud.
so in tune. We've all been there, and do you know what? One thing about friendship breakups, sometimes they're harder than a breakup.
Yeah, because especially been friends for a long time.
Well, there's so much worry that comes with a friendship breakup, isn't there? You lose your friend and that person that you ride or die with and you tell everything, but you also lose that person that's got your deepest, darkest secrets.
Oh, shit, yeah.
And you think,
I didn't even
are you
think
going to
about
exploit
that.
me? Yeah. It's hard, isn't it? And like you said, it's like when you break up with someone, like when me and Con broke up for that little period. Yes, I missed my boyfriend, but I missed my friend.
Oh, don't.
No, but
You're
I
gonna
did.
absolutely
I
break
genuinely
my heart.
missed my friend. Like, oh my God, you never guess what? Like us.
Yeah.
You never guess what. And
Oh, don't because this is what I struggle with the whole friendship breakup thing. I've never. Well, you're kind of married now, so obviously you did miss him and stuff. But I've never broke up with someone and actually missed them properly.
Yeah.
Sorry to any of the exes out there, but I hated you all. So fuck you. But if I was to break up with Tom, God forbid, I'd be fucking devastated.
And I think as well,
because for the same thing, he's my bestie.
Yeah, literally. Like, just you tell everything to, you laugh about it, and you're like, you never guess what. Like, me and you recently, I mean, I've in a bit of a pickle at the minute, guys.
Pickle?
House. So, you know, I've got a house.
She's in a pickle.
Well, a house has come up for the same price, same amount of bedrooms, literally the same, but in this area. Now, you might think, well, surely you'd go for that house then because it's in your area that you want. But the house in this area does need work doing to it.
Mm-hmm.
Quite a bit of work. Not Tyler's amount of work, but
a manageable amount of work, but
we're at the top end of the
she's
budget.
got 2 children.
And I've got 2 children. So Tyler, bless her, has been...
And you're selling a house. I'm moving into a house from home.
Yeah.
We've got time to do it up before we move in.
We'd have to move
You're
into
just
it and
gonna
do
have
it,
to.
yeah. And like I said, it's not really in the budget that much.
I ate the chocolate, by the way.
But I've been stressed. So Tyler, obviously, has been getting my stress voice notes, and she's helped me a lot. Like, she's genuinely helped me a lot.
What can I say?
But that's what I mean. Then imagine you not being there.
Oh.
Just...
And not to toot my own horn or anything, I think I give quite good advice.
You do.
I try not to...
You're quite level-headed.
Try not to
you see
lead.
things the way it is.
Yeah, I don't like to lead people into... I
I've
don't
noticed that about you.
I don't like to really say what, like... Because I don't like it when people say to me, well, this is what you should do. Because I'm like, yeah, but...
Yeah. But I think you're quite literal anyway.
I am.
Like, if I say something to Tyler where I'll be like, oh, so I think maybe we could possibly do this, she'll be like, yeah, but... Like, say, for instance, if the once I think I said to you about doing, like an episode feature thing, and you was like, well, we can't do that every week. And you took it literal, and
Yeah.
I was like, it makes me laugh because I know Tyler is like that. And I should probably elaborate a bit more every time.
It's all right.
But it's cute because I love seeing the way your brain works. And that's like it with the house. You see it for what it is. You don't see the rest of the shit that's going on in my head. You're literally like, well, it's this or this.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
facts.
like, here's the facts.
Here's the evidence.
How you going to feel? Like that.
Yeah, there's no more to it. Yeah.
And there's no point me saying, just stay here. Stay here.
Yeah.
Or, nah, go. Because you know when people give that kind of advice, like, I could say, well, stay here because then you'll live closer to me.
Yeah, yeah.
What kind of fucking advice is that?
Like, I'm not going to listen to it anyway.
Like, what does that even... Because I
You're
feel
just
like...
adding more points into the list of things I've got to consider. Do you know what I mean? It's not going to make...
And it's pointless. Things like that, like stupid advice that, like... I think a lot of people give selfish advice. That would be me being selfish.
Yeah.
Or if someone in your family... I don't know, let's say someone in your family lived close to here. I don't know if they do. And they were saying, stay here because I'm here. But that doesn't... That's not... Because it's only 10 minutes away.
Yeah.
Like, but I do try to
Yeah.
But I like to.
But
I like
everyone,
to
to
see
be
it in the
fair,
middle.
everyone has give the same advice as you, really. That kind
Because
of
it's actually a really hard choice.
Like you've got to go with your gut kind of thing, and everyone. And I think that is hard in a sense because a part of you does want people's opinions, don't you? In a way, like you don't want to be
someone to give you the
overwhelmed
answer.
by it, but you want someone to give you the answer. And everyone we spoke to, Liz, Mikey, Dad, Mom, everyone, Tyler's gone. Wow. Kind of your decision.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a hard one. But again, that's why friends are important, because times like this.
So what would you do, hey? And I'm sending 5-minute long voice notes
Yeah.
explaining what you should do.
But do you know what, as well? It's times like this, I think, you realise, and I'm kind of at the other end of it now, guys, because I do feel like in life you only have 3 types of news to give, unless you're unfortunate and have bad news to give. And they are, I'm pregnant, it's a boy or a girl, we're engaged. Do you know what I mean? They're your big newses in life.
Yeah.
That we all, And unfortunately, when you have those 3 newses in life, there's a lot of friendship losses. And I don't know if you're feeling that at the minute.
Mm-hmm.
But when I fell pregnant, I lost a lot of friends. And you do. It's really hard because I haven't really got the answers for you as to why that happens. Because it's not because anyone was shit. It's not because one of my friends thought, oh, she's having a baby, I don't care about her. It's just they stopped bothering. They just stopped bothering.
Is not something I thought would happen. Like, I told my friends that I was pregnant, and then they've they all got like excited, and like in the moment when I said I'm pregnant, they're like, oh my god, that's amazing. And then I've not heard anything from not even like not a word from any of them. 2 of them I have, not a word from any of them. Not how are you and baby, like, or not even how am I, like nothing. Like, it's just, and I'm like, so what happens if they just don't even speak to me? And I've had some scary things happen, and like none of them know. Do
you know what I think it is, right? I think at this age, and I could be wrong, but I feel like we're all busy doing something, and people forget to actively remember. So like, I know, for instance, right now, as an example, if I put in my girls group chat, girls, can you all like and comment this post? They absolutely would. They absolutely would support it.
Yeah.
They'd do it. They'd like it. They'd comment it. They'd share it. But actively, they don't. And it's not because they don't support me and they don't love me. It's just that it's not at their forefront of their mind of things to do because they can't relate. They're not into social media that much to think that means a lot to them. So they forget. They forget the importance of it. But I know if I turn around and went, guys, if you like that, that's really important. They'd be like, oh, yeah, sure. Of course we will.
Yeah, I get that.
And I think that's where it gets hard and where it gets a bit messy, because that's like when you're pregnant. They probably do care, and they probably did care about me. But it becomes your whole life. This baby is your whole life. Like, you love it so much, you think, well, it's my whole life.
But do you know what I'm worried about? I'm worried about what if they don't ask me anything and then I give birth, and like, what do I tell them? I've given birth even though they've not spoke to me. It's so awkward.
No, I wouldn't say, if you don't hear a thing, I wouldn't say message and put it, I've had the baby,
because then they're going to find out when I eventually do
just
put
post
online.
it on your social media.
But then this is another issue I've had. I posted on social media that I was pregnant, and I had a few annoyed responses of people that I'm not like mega close to, so I didn't think I needed to privately tell them. And I got messages like, oh, well, you didn't tell me, or didn't know you were trying.
Oh yeah, me and Tom are just gonna.
Oh yeah,
right now, just
let me just text you and let you know that I'm trying for a baby. I wasn't even trying for a baby.
Yeah.
I literally said, well, I was. 2 people said that to me, and I said, well, I wasn't trying, and like, it's just not something that. And they like got offended.
I just think as well, right? The problem is with these situations, you're never gonna know. We're never gonna know the other side of that. Let's say, for instance, you did do those things. You did text them, and you did sound pregnant. Would they give you the congratulations you wanted, or would they look at it and go, what are you telling me for?
Yeah, see, this is what, because I didn't deem them the type of friend that I would personally tell.
Yeah.
I don't know, you just have different friends.
And then, like you said, and then you've got then you've got a whole list that you're opening then, isn't there? Of like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, well, if I'm telling you, then I need to tell you, you and you. And then it becomes this whole
It just
big
becomes
thing.
a thing. I just
So-
popped it on my Instagram.
Yeah, 100%. I think if they don't bother and they don't text, whatever, then just pop it on whatever you was going to do anyway. And if they do pop up giving you a funny message, you just say, well, have you checked in?
Yeah, have you asked me how I am?
Yeah. Like,
None of them knew I was in the hospital the other week.
exactly. Do you know what I mean? And it is hard because, like I've mentioned before, I used to get caught up on a lot of things and thinking, oh, but,
I know, this is. I'm just going to have to just...
No, I'm not even on about that
I know,
situation. I'm
but
on
it's-
about me and the way I look at things now. Because I think even little things, like when I've been ill, I'd be like, oh, well... Or something that's big in my life. Like when Blair was poorly and he nearly died, guys. Like, it was horrendous. I didn't get as many check-ins as I thought I would.
That's fucking crazy.
And then
to
when
me.
I reflect on it, but it's crazy to me because if that was one of my friends, and I'm not saying it was my friends, like I'm just saying as an example, if that was one of my friends, I would constantly be texting them any updates. But then you have to flip it and go, do they not want to bother you because they know how much you're going through? Do they want to just send you one message to let you know that they're thinking of you? But then you think, yeah, but you haven't messaged me, so you're clearly not thinking of me. And then you think, but it's a big thing. But at the same time, it's like I've never lost someone. I've never lost the nan. I've never lost the granddad, whatever. So I know it's bad and I know it's hard. And I can only imagine how hard it is. But I've never experienced it to the extent of, shit me, it's hard. So then
Right.
when you're in it, I think imagine then when you have lost someone and you feel that grief and you're crying all the time, you'd be like, this really, really fucking hurts and no one's texting me or... But you can't comprehend the situation you're not in, and that's why it's such a messy one. Because one of my friends said to me the other day, and jealousy does fall into this a lot as well, which is sad. But one of my friends said to me the other day, do you know, Dem, since getting engaged, I've lost a lot of friends.
Yeah, bananas, that is.
Yeah, and I lost friends. I lost a few friends because you have some friends that think they're going to be bridesmaids. You have some friends that assume that they're going to be invited and their partner is and the other plus one is. And you're like, no, it's my wedding. I don't want them there. Some people don't want babies. Don't blame them. Like, I've got children. But would I want loads of kids at mine? Probably not, because
No?
you know that your friends and that can't enjoy it then either because they've got to go early because we've got the kids and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And that's not me having anything against kids because I love my kids. They're my world. But there are some things that you think, oh, it would be nice for us all to get together and fully unwind and have a party and
Yeah.
whatever. And some people don't get that. And then some people are jealous, unfortunately. You got the ring before they did.
Oh, see, I just don't think that way. But again, I don't think that way. You don't think that way. People do think that way.
Yeah, it's hard.
And it's...
This is
well,
why friendship breakups are messy because
I'm scared of any friendship breakup because I feel like I've done all my friendship breakups now. I think to myself about my friends now, and I think there's no possible way we will stop being friends.
no, I'm the same.
But having a baby, I don't know if that's going to cause a new rift in my life.
Yeah.
So I'm like, a rift that I never expected because I've had lots of friend breakups, but I feel like it all happened like being a bit younger and a bit more immature.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, well, I've got my friends. Everything's fine. I even if I argue with my friends, we don't fall out.
But I do think that's where the hurt comes from. And it's not necessarily that you won't be friends. It's that you'll realise that they're more maybe of a associate than they are a friend.
Than
and
a
that's
friend.
where it hurts. Because, guys, I've been there. Like, I've been caught up in it the past few years. Because, like, Blair, when he stopped breathing and, you know, that whole thing with the hospital, I thought, even when I did charities, I don't expect you to raise money. I don't expect you to give me money, but you didn't even share it on your story. But to them, they're probably thinking, oh, it's no biggie. But it is a biggie because you watch my whole world crumble underneath me. And when I did that 75 miles last September, I've mentioned this a few times, a few people didn't come through that I thought would. Do you know what I mean? And you think...
And do you know what's crazy? When we met at that party,
Yeah.
Tom like gets his phone out straight away.
But that was
sends money on behalf of me and Tom. I didn't press send.
But that was,
it
one of my examples.
Yeah, which is crazy. We were just drunk and talking to you, and it was like, fucking hell, you're raising money for something. Yeah, give us the link.
Like Connor's friends, a lot of Connor's friends did
Yeah.
give money and whatever. And you think, not that you're not my friends. I do think I view as friends, but you're my friends because of Connor. But my friends that I've grew up with or close people, and you think,
where's your Tom did, although I didn't press send, didn't bat an eye. Like, Tom's getting his phone out, and we're saying, yeah, send that much, fucking have it.
And you didn't even have a kid to even comprehend at the time.
No,
like you weren't even thinking about babies
in our
at
heads,
the time.
It was like, fucking hell,
exactly.
Send you money.
And I think, like you said, that's where I get confused, because I'm like, but you do know how scary it is to nearly lose a child, because you don't have to go through that to understand
know that
how.
That's absolutely terrifying.
And that's where I then struggle. But then I'm like, I suppose it's one of those, it is bad kind of moments, but
I struggle because I only met you that night, and Tom, although Tom knew you beforehand, like, it just didn't. I don't know. How could I just meet you on that night and you tell me you're doing that, and I'm like, yeah. I don't get it.
I do
and
think
then a
that's...
friend. I don't fucking understand.
I get what you mean. I do think that's where the hurt comes, though. It's like that. But I would. But then you have to start thinking, yeah, but not everyone thinks the way you do. Like, yeah.
Well,
for me, a hard one for me is I don't want to see my friends because you're never on time. You're late and I get it, because you don't understand that 15 minutes is crucial in my schedule of...
Shit, I'm always late.
No, but what I mean is like, no. There's being
She's
late.
talking to me.
No, there's being late, and then there's 1-2 hours go by and I'm still waiting.
Oh.
And I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, oh, come on. Not with any of my close friendship groups. They're really good at knowing now. But when I meet up with friends that I haven't spoke to in forever, and I'm like, I got to pick Nelly up from school at this time, and I got to do this at this time, and Blair needs his feed at that time. I don't have the time to wait another 2 hours. Like, this is why I don't see you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just because they're not in that mindset of, oh yeah, of course, it's hectic. But I've had a few friendship breakups in my life.
Any that stand out, like that hurt you bad?
2, really. The rest I just think you weren't meant to be. One, I've mentioned this boy before. I used to have a friend at school, and we were the best of friends. We were inseparable, spent every waking minute together. He texts me all the time. And he really, really, really looked after me. Like, he had my best interest at heart. And he did. He adored me. And then obviously he tried to sleep with me.
Yeah. Oh,
and
yeah, I remember that.
Ruined everything. And I honestly think of him every day now, because he's not on social media now.
Oh,
so whereas I used to
stalk.
check and make sure he was okay and doing whatever, I don't even know where he is in the world right now. And I'm like, things got a bit messy for him. A bad event happened, and unfortunately he was linked to it as the person it happened to was someone very close to him, and it was really sad, and it kind of not tipped him over the edge, but it obviously made him disappear.
Wow.
So
that's sad.
Yeah, so I don't even know where he is now, but honestly I think about him all the time because he was such a good friend, and that hurts. That friendship really hurts, because I just thought, if we could have just rewind. What if I just said to you I was busy that night?
It probably would have happened again.
Yeah.
It probably would have happened a different time.
It's all those if, buts and maybes, isn't it? I keep thinking, if I had not been free that night and you didn't have come over, we'd probably still be friends. Because even now, boys get a bit weird, I feel. And I'm sorry to offend anyone, but I don't speak to any lad without Con knowing. And I don't mean Con needs to know hey, Con, here's my phone, look at what I've texted this lad. I'm very open in my relationship. So when I have messaged this boy, Con knows. I'd be like, I messaged someone so early to make sure to check in, because I'm really worried about them. Con knows I think about him. I go, do you know, I'm really thinking about him today. Like, I really miss him. I hope he's okay. And I said to Con when this bad situation went on, I went, just to let you know, I'm going to ask him if he wants to go meet up and go for dinner. And Con was like, yeah, sweet. Because Con knew he was a friend, and it was
of course.
and we're very open about that. But on his end, I bet he thought, you got a boyfriend. Should you be
Yeah,
texting me?
why are you inviting me for
God,
dinner?
like, what the hell?
Because he won't understand your dynamic with
Yeah. Whereas, don't worry, guys. Like, Con knows. Con will always know. Con is my soulmate. Con is my
These
hug.
two are
Like,
absolute goals.
yeah, honestly. Oh, thanks. But
They are.
honestly, like, I adore Con. That no boy is ever going to replace Con. But I can have boyfriends. Like, one of my best friends, Josh, he lives in London and he's living his best life. And come to my wedding, and Con's got a great relationship with him because you can have friends.
You can.
You can have
You can.
male friends. Obviously, it's situational. If Con come home now and was like, I've got a girl best friend, I'd be like,
Where the fuck
what?
did she come from?
What?
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah.
Because how have you developed that whilst you're married?
And
where
you
did
work
she
on a
come
building
from?
site. Yeah.
There is always context.
I'm going for dinner with this girl.
What fucking girl?
Me and these two lads that I'm really good friends with. Well, one not anymore. We've grown up together.
Yeah, and you've been consistent friends.
Yeah. They've watched boyfriends
till
come
now.
and go.
Do you know what I mean?
You know.
That's context.
So that's one friend. And then the second one, and then we'll move on to you because I feel like this is all about me.
It's all about
The second one is really hard because she was a really good friend and a really good person, and I do still think she's a really good person. I just think that she has locked everyone off and is in a... I won't say too much because it's not my place to say it, because we can all guess and we can all make judgments on situations, but it might not be the facts. But I feel like the situation and the time she's in her life, she feels like she doesn't need friends and family. She just needs her bubble, and that's fine.
Okay.
But when we were younger and I fell pregnant, she didn't understand that it was like I was disabled all of a sudden and I couldn't do anything. And I all of a sudden got stopped being invited out. And they'd go to the spa and they'd go out and I'd be like, I can do that. Like, I can do that.
Yeah.
I'm pregnant. No, I can't come clubbing, but
I've not broke my legs.
yeah, that is something I would really like to do. And I messaged her once, and I have mentioned this on the podcast before, and I messaged her and I was like, I'm just going to say, and it was a really polite message, really upset because I feel like you're making plans and stuff, but these plans I could come to, and I would really like to come to. And it went sour. She didn't understand. And I kind of just walked away from it thinking, you just don't understand. That's fine. Whatever. We move. Okay. And then we kind of rekindled a bit. But then when Nelly was born, Nelly also stopped breathing, like flatlined. But it wasn't
Fucking hell.
Yeah, it wasn't as serious as Blair. Nelly was 4 weeks old and it would have been classed as cot death had we not have caught it.
No way.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
You'll have to tell me that another day, because that is
Yeah. So
crazy.
CPR, whatever. And one of my friends messaged this girl and said, have you heard about Nelly? And this other friend was a bit of a snake.
Oh, what?
So,
Like gossiping?
no, as in say, have you heard what's happened to
Oh,
Nelly?
I thought you meant they were gossiping.
No.
I thought I'd...
But the friend
swing.
snaked her and said to me, I messaged said person and said, have you heard about Nelly? Maybe we should check in with Demi. And the friend in question turned around and went, I don't give a fuck about Nelly. No. Now, it is what it is. That wasn't
I
my...
hope you go to hell.
That wasn't my...
Sorry.
In that moment, you think, I don't care about people like you. Like, I've got my family.
You
I
shouldn't,
don't
but then
need that.
it's enraging because that's a baby. That's your friend's baby. It's a baby
It
nonetheless.
was just immaturity. 20-year-olds, immature, whatever. So then I bumped into this person. Nelly must have been about 2 years later. I was very settled into motherhood, bossing it, if I say so myself. And I seen her, fresh mum, struggling.
Oh.
And I just helped her. I just said, do you need some help? And she just needed a minute. That's all she needed. We've all been there. We all just need minutes from time to time. And I give her a minute and I helped. And I was like, you're doing amazing. You're doing amazing. Motherhood's hard.
So nice.
It's hard. Been there. And we're still there. But luckily for me, I'm kind of at the other end of that. Because, you go through stages with kids, don't you? Like, my next one will probably be 7 to 10 and then teenage years. But I helped her. And then I got a beautiful message off her apologising. And she really, really did apologise. And she was like, I didn't understand what it was like to have a baby. before having a baby, and I treated you like shit, and I understand if you never wanted to speak to me again, but I'm truly sorry. Like, I was immature, blah blah blah, and it was honestly, it was a heartfelt apology. She meant it. It was water under the bridge. It was fine. Okay. And then we become friends again and whatever. And
You are a better person than me.
oh no.
Do you know what? Sometimes I just can't let go of the. Maybe that's something I need to work on, right? But I would not be able to.
But
I
then,
would still be. I'd be civil and I'd accept the apology and stuff. But I don't think I could then be friends again.
wow, maybe that makes you a better person than me, because it ended up biting me on the arse anyway, in a sense.
Oh,
So that happened, and then just after my wedding, she decided she didn't want to be my friend anymore. Well, during my wedding, not the day, but like the whole going through engagement and whatever, she decided she didn't want to be my friend anymore. And I am still civil with her, because I feel like my friends around me are quite angry towards the situation, thinking, but you give her another chance and she's done it again. But I just think there's something deeper. Think there's something just... So yeah, so that one hurt, because I think about them all the time, and yeah, it was just really out of the blue, really out of the blue, and really like,
I get how that's
you feel like you're
hard.
being stubbed twice. I feel like on two big events of my life, you've stubbed me.
And if she came to you now and apologised and said she wanted to meet you for coffee and talk, would you be a friend again?
I'd want to meet. I would
Just
want
to hear
meet.
her out.
I would want to know, yeah, because I worry about people too much. I just want to know you're okay. If you're okay and you just decided you didn't want to be my friend, then whatever. But I want to know you're okay, because motherhood can be lonely sometimes. It can, because when you are one of the first people to have a baby, other people are going out and making plans. Like, my friends still now will text on a Thursday night and go, "Oh, should we go here? Should all the couples go?" And I'm like, "Oh,
Got
I
2 kids, mate.
Yeah, I got 2 kids. Like, they're in bed. I can't." And just at times it feels lonely anyway, because they're your world and it's hard, and there's always mum guilt, even when you're a freaking good mum guilt. And and I just feel like, yeah, to do it on your own and to cut everyone off, you need a village. You do. You need your people. You need, even if it's just now and I say to you, "You're all right."
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You just need that. So yeah, that's why I'd like to see and hear her out and whatever.
That's interesting.
So yeah,
I
tell me about.
I don't know if I would.
Tell me about your breakup.
Oh, listen, I had a breakup. Friendship breakup. My breakup. That even to this day, I don't know whether I should be a friend. Right. So
are you friends now?
no.
Okay.
So, but I always get this wave of like I miss her.
Yeah.
But if I said to and I know that I'm thinking of a friend right now that will watch this, and she'll be like, and she'll text me when she's watched this, and she'll be like, "You don't fucking miss her." But listen, hear me out. I
feel like I know who you're gonna say.
No, you don't.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
Wait, I'll cut it out. Who you
I thought you was gonna say your uni friend, because even though she was
the one
really
that battered
bad.
me. Oh no, I don't give a fuck
Oh,
about her.
okay, go on then.
Nah, fuck that bitch. And I didn't know her for very long.
Yeah.
Less than a year, probably like
Oh, okay.
7 months. So it don't matter. So I had a friend. We went to 2 different schools. We lived in the same town, but she went to the other school in the town, and I went to the other one. Can't remember how we met, but we made friends in like year 7s. How old are you in year 7? 11?
Yeah, like.
And
Yeah.
I would go to her house every weekend. She'd come to my house. I'd spend so much time with her. I would go away with her. We'd do, like, we were friends all the way up until a couple of years ago. No, not a couple of years ago. Flipping hell. When we came out of lockdown. So that was like, 5 years ago?
Oh, okay, yeah.
In my head, it was
That
only a
goes
couple of
quick,
years
yeah.
ago. But no.
Sorry, I'm listening to you while watching 2 birds
Watching
get
the
at
I
it.
know, I did see the birds. But I made the silly mistake of introducing her to another one of my friends.
Oh, yeah.
And
Oh.
this shit gets messy.
And freeze a crowd.
And free as a crowd. So this other
Freeze a
friend
crowd.
was a friend that I made at uni. So I made this friend when I was like 18 and I'd known this friend since I was 11. I was super, super close to both of them. Like, both like my best friends. And I thought, why don't we just all hang out with each other? Because that one makes my life easier when
Yeah.
you're trying to meet up with me, you're trying to meet up with me. Let's all just fucking hang out. I think you'll get on. It'll be great. So lockdown's easing and we're allowed to go and drink outside. Us three keep going and drinking together. We keep hanging out together. It's going fine. It's going great. And then one night we go out for my friend's birthday, my uni friend's birthday. And I don't really know at what point it went south. We met these boys. And then we went to this boy's house. We were hanging out with these boys. Yada, yada, yada. And then, I won't go into detail about what happened. But basically, my friend that I'd known since I was like 11 misheard something that I said to my uni friend. So, but she was kind of... She went all like crazy and unhinged, right? But it wasn't the first time she'd done that to me.
Yeah.
So she'd done it to me like throughout our whole friendship. There's loads of times where she'd just go fly off the handlebars over like I'd say something and she'd literally hear the complete wrong sentence. And I used to always forgive her for it. I used to always just be like, oh, that's just her. Like, she was drunk. Inhibitions, whatever. But then because my other friend, if that was just me and her and that happened, we'd have probably been besties again by the morning.
Yeah.
But because my other friend was involved, she started being horrible to my other friend. And then what do you do? What do you do when she's then being outright horrible to my other friend? My other friend didn't do anything. My other friend didn't even say the thing that she misheard. It was me. It was me that said the thing that she misheard. And she does this whole storming off thing. It's like 3:00 in the morning. She's walking around the streets screaming and crying. I'm desperately trying to keep her safe. Like, she used to really scare me when she'd do this because she'll just be like, she'd just go get in someone's car. Like, say if some random guy was on the street and she'd be like, oh, give me a lift because these bitches are like, and she'd just like be really unhinged with her actions. She used to absolutely fucking terrify me. So I'd be like, well, I don't know what's about to happen to her now. But then we got into a bit of an argument in the middle of the street. And yes, I was. I did shout at her. But I basically shouted at her. One, because she wasn't listening to me when she was being really unsafe. And I was like, fucking stop. Because, one, we were then all unsafe by this point. 3 very drunken girls.
Yeah.
In the middle of the streets, like, oh, it was absolutely fucking... And the thing is, I can't go into too many details because I just kicked the table again, which made the camera shake. Because it's not fair to her. Even though she's a cow. It's just not fair for me to say the details. But then we got back to my other friend's house because we were meant to be staying at her house. And her mum, bless her mum's so sweet. She'd put out like little sick bowls for us. She'd set up all the beds. She'd got us all a glass of water. And I pleaded with my friend and I was like, please stay. She was then really horrible to my friend. I'm pretty sure she insulted my friend's house. She was then insulting like everything that her mum had done. She was like screaming and shouting in my friend's house while her mum was asleep.
Oh, God.
Anyway, this whole thing blows up, kicks off. And I say, get in your taxi, go home. We'll talk tomorrow, whatever. But then my other friend... What do you actually do in that situation? Because my other friend obviously was like, take my side. And I did. I had to choose. But part of me wishes I didn't choose.
I don't feel like you should have had to have chosen her.
Sorry, my friend didn't say you have to choose. But you just know.
Yeah, you know what's right and what's wrong, and you know what you'd want someone to do for you.
This friend has just ruined my other friend's birthday, been absolutely vile to her since the argument started, then comes into a house and proceeds to insult everything. she's been flipping horrible to me as well. So then it's like, what do I do? Is she goes, I stay with this other friend. But I just know that it was expected that I don't forgive her. And at the time, don't get me wrong, I was like, I'm never forgiving her. Rah, rah, rah. But then I got really, 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 really sad because I'd been friends with her since we were 11.
See, I think at the time, yes, you probably should have. But then I think that there should have been like some sort of meeting up and talking it out. I don't know if you did that.
Nope.
But then I feel like you should have gone back to being friends with her and your other friend separately. And had just said to your other friend, look, I've told her what she's done's wrong. I agree it's wrong. We've aired it out. Yes, I think she should apologise to you, but whether she does or not, I can't control that. However, she's been my friend for this long. You're also my friend. And I've decided to make the decision I want to be friends with you both, but separately. It doesn't work like this. And if your other friend had said, fuck that, no, she's vile, then that would have been a choice been made, not by you.
But I never... Now, you see...
Did the girl ever reach out to you?
I don't really remember what happened. I know that either I texted her or she texted me the day after, and then, like, nothing. I think I texted her and she ignored me.
Okay.
I think. I can't really remember.
Also, when you've been under the influence of alcohol, it's really hard, isn't it?
But then I know she must have woken up feeling like guilt and shame and embarrassment, and then. But then she texted me like a few months later and asked me a really random question, and I remember being like, "Oh, she didn't say, hey, how are you? Really sorry for what happened," or hey, I'd like to see you. She just texted me and said, hey, and asked me this random question, and I was like,
yeah, it was probably her way of reaching out, wasn't it?
And I did respond, but then it didn't go anywhere. And then when I did my lash training, which was only last year, so I hadn't spoke to her up until then, and then when I did my lash training last year, she messaged me and asked me to go and do her lashes, and I said that I would, but then nothing ever came of it, because I did say I would, and I thought I'll go and do her lashes and I'll just see.
It's like she's trying to reach out a little bit,
but then it's like it's far gone. And I
hard
did
because at that age, like you said, it was a constant reoccurring thing that she would do that behaviour. So,
but it's always when she had a drink.
Exactly, but then you take that into context, don't you? And it's like it's drink related. We're young. We're further on. Look, it's okay for me to sit here now and say, no, I think you should. But I'm older. I'm wiser. I'm 2 kids in. Like,
but I agree with you now. I agree. But at the time, I was like, fuck that bitch.
Yeah,
she's disrespected you.
Yeah.
She's been mean to my friend. She's ruined this. Fuck that. Fuck that. And then now I'm like, but we were really close. But then now I'm like, just. But another thing as well, she's never been one that's got lots of friends. Like, I'm not saying she's an absolute loner.
So why?
I'm saying like, no, I'm not even saying that. I'm saying like, she always had me and then like another friend, or I feel like I was her most consistent friend. We were friends for years and years and years, and other friends come and go, and she didn't have many friends. And I worry that she's lonely.
Then why don't you reach out to her?
Because I just think our lives are very different. I don't know.
But if it is, then it is.
I don't know. But then I also feel like I purposely, in my life, I try not to make new friends because I don't really have time.
Yeah.
I don't have time for my current friends, and I definitely don't have time to make new friends.
See, I'd just drop a message and be like, hey, I've just...
But then is it bad because I've just spoken about her on the podcast? What if she hears it? But I haven't...
You haven't said anything bad. Like, you haven't said anything other than factual information, and you haven't really given much away.
Yeah.
But I'd just be like, I've been thinking of you today, and I just wanted to check in. She might not reply. If she does, she might go, yeah, I'm all good, thanks. How are you? Nothing might not come of it, but it might put your mind to rest, knowing that you have reached out.
Maybe.
But... you'll know if it's right anywhere. You'll know whether to reach out or not.
I just feel like too much time's passed now, and I feel like I feel like if I did reach out and she was expecting a friendship, I can't really give that anymore.
But then do you know what I always think about as well? And I know this is really dark and deep, and anyone that knows me knows I'm morbid. If on the other hand you got a text to say something bad had happened to her, would you sit in regret thinking, oh, I wish I'd reached out? It's too late now.
Yeah, but I could think that about a lot of people, but it doesn't mean they should be in my life.
I might say, no, I don't. I
But
agree.
this is where it's hard. This is
I
where it's
agree.
hard.
I'm not saying
Because
she should be in your life, but
If I reach out, will she then expect a friendship again? Probably. I don't know if I can give that. So I'm like, what's the point in giving her false hope? Or
yes, maybe that's
It's
what you
really
need to think
hard.
about then. Do you want her as a friend again, or
I just don't think it would. I'm moving. I know she's moved, so I'd be like 50 minutes away from her,
Yeah.
right?
That's
Nearly an
fine.
hour apart, different lifestyles. I'm having a baby. I'm buying a house.
Yeah.
She's not at that stage.
It's me. See, now I understand.
She's been at work, and now she's yawning. Love that. Now it's not just me. But yeah, I don't know. But then my other friend, I was friends with. We met in year 3.
Is
How
this
old are
another
you?
a different breakup? Yeah.
Yeah. How old are you in year 3?
Oh.
You should know. You work in a school.
Well, Nellie's 6 in year 1, 7 in year 2.
So 8.
Yeah, about 8.
So we met when we were 8. To be fair, we had a very toxic friendship from the get-go. We would fall out like all the time. Fall out, be besties, fall out, be besties. But she would come away with my family. I'd go away with her family. We literally lived 5 minutes away. We were inseparable. But we'd always fall out. And then we'd always be mean to each other and yada, yada, yada. But we were friends. We went to the same primary school. And then we went to the same secondary school. And then we went to the same college. And then we both hated this other college. So we moved to a different college. And literally, we were like inseparable this like whole time. Even though we would fall out a lot in between, we still remained friends. And I'm not sure where we started drifting. I think we started drifting once I went to uni, actually, because she didn't. She went into work.
Okay.
And I went into the uni life. And then she messaged me probably about a year ago again. And she said, oh my God, I live on your street where my parents live.
Yeah.
She was like, I've moved to your street, and she's had a child and stuff. And I was like, oh my God, that's really weird. Like, okay. And then I like asked how she was, and she was like, we should meet up. My child, you'd love my child. I don't want to like say gender or anything. So I don't know. I was about to like give too much away about the person. And then I arranged to meet up with her. And she was a no-show.
Oh no.
And not just a no-show. She
even
ignored me.
Oh.
And then proceeded to post on Facebook that she'd been at a farm with her kid in the morning when she was meant to meet me. And then I texted her and said, look, that's really annoyed me. And she said, oh, sorry, I've been poorly all day. Fucking lied to me. So this friendship was like toxic, you know, but because we'd been friends for so many years, she knew all of my family. I knew all of her family. We were like sisters, yeah. And I'd be like, I miss having someone that close. Like,
yeah.
Shall I just rekindle with her? Because there was a period of time where we didn't speak for a couple of years, and then we just became friends again. It's just what happened. But
they're the hard ones as well, I think, because my college friends, shout out to you girls, some of the best friends I've ever made in my life. Honestly, what a fabulous time college was. Now, I made the decision not to stay.
Jesus Christ. I thought I said 63. How long have we been talking for?
I reckon about 60 to 70. It was running for a good while.
Okay.
I made some of the best friends in college. Honestly, them girls. And I made the decision not to stay at my school college. I fully threw myself into the deep end and went somewhere where I knew no one. These girls were life. They made my college experience so good. And I adored them all. But life got in the way. Life seriously got in the way. One's in Australia. One is a mum. The other one, I do speak to here and there now. And there's a few others. But everyone's just lifing differently. And those breakups are hard because they drift. It's not necessarily
There's not a reason.
A rip the band-aid off. It's a drift. Then you just stop speaking one day and you're just strangers again. And you think, God, I had some of the best moments with you. Like,
and now you
Katie, shout out to you, Katie, who's living her best life in Australia. She was honestly, my best friend. We laughed together. We were literally. Do you know what's actually funny? She would have been you, I think. As in, like, you and Katie are very similar. And sometimes I also think is that like life's funny ways of doing things? Because, like, you've brought that person back into my life where we're very, like, similar but also very different, but we laugh at our differences. And
Oh, how interesting.
do you know what I mean? Like, Katie was a lot like that. She took things literal. She very smart. And and it's just like, and I mean, we message here and there, but like I said, life just got in the way, and we just don't talk anymore. And they're hard. Them breakups are hard as well, aren't they?
Because no one's done anyone wrong.
No.
I think when someone's done you wrong, it's easier.
Yeah, 100%.
It's so much easier because you can blame that.
Yeah, and like you said, you know, when you break up with a partner, the person that breaks up with them always gets that really hard time of like, oh, well, you broke up with them, you're all right. No, they're not. They're not okay, because it is much harder to break up with someone and walk away and finally admit that this is not okay anymore, this isn't working, than it is to be broken up with. You can kind of heal and get closure when you've been broken up with. Whereas if you're the one breaking up, you kind of think, would it have been different? If I didn't do that, would it have been different? And that's hard.
And then wondering if you've made the wrong decision.
Yeah. So, I'll read 2 out, and I think that will probably be the end of our little...
Yeah, because I feel like we've been talking a long time.
But
we recorded before we actually started talking, so we're not sure how long we've been talking for.
But a few girls did reach out to us. Shout out to you girls. So someone said... Sorry, too long to add to the box. Friendship breakup. I went to Ibiza with my best friend. We had been friends since leaving school. Sleepovers at each other's house, came to all each other family events. So anyways, we went to Ibiza, had the best time together as a little girl's holiday before I got married. And she was my maid of honour. Of course, who else would I pick? Shit me, this must have been recent. So we get back from our week away, go back to work, etc. Then 2 days later, I get a text from her saying she finds it really weird I've asked her to be my maid of honour, and rude that my family are messaging her to help sort out the hen party. What? She told me I was selfish for booking my wedding and expecting her to have a role. Also, that I was selfish that I expected her to come to Italy for a week for my wedding. I was honestly gobsmacked and in tears. I couldn't believe it. This girl was like my sister. I asked if she was still coming to the wedding and she told me no. I didn't even answer. I just left the message. But now, a year or so later, I'm 6 to 7 months married, had my sister as my maid of honour, and my true friends as my bridesmaids. I don't know if weddings make you realise who your friends are or if it's Ibiza. Maybe it's because I wouldn't get cherries tattooed between my boobs like she wanted to in Ibiza with a laughing face. Do you know what? My situation is very similar to yours. Very, very, very similar. But what you need to realise is when you ask someone to be a bridesmaid or when you ask them to be a maid of honour, they do not need to say yes. Do not need to say yes. They can say no. And yes, it might be hard to say no, but I would fully respect someone who would turn around to me and go, look, Dan, I really like you as a friend. I hope it doesn't affect our friendship. I physically can't afford to be your maid of honour.
Yeah, that's fine.
And also, I just don't think we're that close for me to be your maid of honour. Like, I don't know what I would say. Yes, I value you as a good friend.
Or even if it's not just that, even if it's just like,
yeah,
I don't want the responsibility.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want that on my head. So, like, pick someone else. That's fine.
Because I also don't find it rude that your family's messaging her to help with a hen. They're not asking you to do it, but it is one of your roles that you're signing up to.
Yeah.
My girls smashed my hen party. I had nothing to do with it. And not just my maid of honour, all of them as a collective. They chose to do that. But equally, if they turned around to me and said, Dem, love to be your bridesmaid, but don't want that responsibility. Fine. I know people, again, it comes with maturity. I know that people that have said, I can't afford to buy your bridesmaid's dresses. Physically can't afford it, but I would love you to be a bridesmaid. And the girls have said, I'd love to be a bridesmaid. I'm more than happy to get my dress.
Yeah.
It's about maturity. Your situations are different. However, the way she's gone about it is weird.
That was weird. That is so weird.
Really weird.
Well, I don't know why you've
You've
asked me to
said
be a maid of
yes.
honour.
Yeah.
Well, of course you know why I've
Then
asked
you've
you.
gone to
The
Ibiza.
fuck? We've just been to... We're best friends.
Yeah.
How
That's
fucking bizarre.
There's something else going on there. There's something, whether it's her, whether maybe, they say you find it.
I do find things like that really weird and random. Like, where has that just come from?
Yeah. That genuinely happened to me. I had a friend coming on my Hindu who was really excited and really up for it and buzzing and whatever. And then one day I turned around and went, I'm not coming. And actually didn't come to my wedding either. And I thought, I even said to her, I sent her a nice message back saying, look, I disagree with your reasonings. I don't think that's the reason why you're saying all of this, because our friendship is fine. But if you feel that way, then that's fine. But you're more than welcome to still come to the wedding. And she was like, yeah, I'll still come to the wedding. And then I found out through social media she moved her holiday to a week later so that she wasn't in Cyprus the same time as me. She didn't even have it in her to tell me.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Wow.
That's a hard one, that is. You've actually stunned me there. One, because I've been in a similar situation to you. And two, because I don't think it's anything
That's
to do
just
with you.
random, yeah.
I think it's something going on with her and something more personal to her that
And she just lashed out.
Yeah, because like you said, you've been friends forever. You're getting married. They should, and you know what? Ultimately, they should be excited for you. They shouldn't be taking away that shine. They should be lifting you up in any way that they can. Anyway, the last one of the day from our lovely girl who always, what's the word?
I don't know. Always.
When they react to your stuff and comment and
supports
interacts, always
yeah,
interacts.
engages.
Right. So, a girl who I was friends with before the upcoming event happened always spoke about herself, her life, and never let you get a word in about your own, just to set the scene of what she's like. She was a colleague and we had a team day out. Beforehand, she asked for a £10 per person deposit for the restaurant as there was quite a few of us going. This was fine, of course. She picks me up on the day and just before we got to the place, she says, oh, the restaurant called me and said it wasn't a deposit, it was a booking fee. I have worked in hospitality before and knew this was not right. So I said, I'll say something to them when we pay. She suddenly goes, oh no, don't, I can't be bothered. Instantly, I knew what was going on. I had to whisper to another friend going about it. They too knew what was going on. The whole time we were at the place, I felt so angry. We got to the restaurant, had our meal, the bill came and I mentioned it to her again. She said, don't say anything. I didn't, and looking back, I wish I did. But I was definitely an FBI agent in the past life. I emailed the restaurant, called them, asking if one, a deposit was paid, and two, if they make deposits or fees. Neither of the answers I got back took her story. She never paid a deposit, nor do they take fees. I gave her multiple chances to own up to it, as I know some things are hard for people, and maybe she just needed money quick. It was £90 altogether, by the way. She lied again, and this time she started to get really nasty and mean. At this point, I was having conversations with other people involved. We were all raging. I was greeted with an absolute vile voice message from her, ending in, "You're the only one bothered about the money." False, a couple of people messaged her asking. Eventually, after me and another girl interrogated her, she kicked off in a group chat and said, "I'll send you your money back now, as the restaurant are sorting it and refunding me." Our team then got split up for other reasons, and thankfully I never had to be friends with her again. Since then, I've realised now how nasty she can be, even to people she's friends with. And yeah, somehow she still has a job, even though she stole from co-workers and managers. Many things have happened since, but I could be here for weeks telling you it all.
The fucking cheek.
Yeah.
And the cheek to say you're the only one bothered about the money. It's my fucking money.
Yeah. I don't
You've literally stolen from
Yeah.
me.
I don't care what your reasoning is. if times are hard, I feel sorry for you and I would love to help you. But equally, do not question me about my money.
And do not
It's
fucking
my-
steal from me.
It's my money. I'm sorry, it's my money. I've probably got snot all coming around here. And you don't have the right to make me feel shitty. And I hate that, because there's nothing worse than having to ask for your own money back.
Yeah, like just why is this happening? I fucking
Like,
hate
I've worked
situations
hard
like
for that.
Yeah,
I shouldn't need to explain to you why.
Why is me asking for my money back a fucking problem? The absolute cheek.
So
I actually can't cope with
yeah,
that.
I think you're better out of that, to be honest.
You
I really
lucky
do.
escape.
The fact that they haven't apologised, the fact that they've turned it and been quite
nasty.
gaslighting in that situation, I think you're better off out of it, because you can't trust someone that lies to you anyway. You can't.
No.
What can you get from that? You're never going to trust her again. You're never going to know she's telling you
And
the truth.
that's
So you can't be
quite,
friends.
Stealing from you is quite
Yeah.
it's quite big. It doesn't matter how much it was. She's stolen from you, like actively knowing what she was doing as well. Okay, if times are tough, but you don't fucking steal from your friends.
I had a friend that asked me for a large chunk of money and I gave it her, and I had to ask for it back on numerous times. She gave it me back in the end. But and even then, I shouldn't have to. It was a lot of money. And she basically said she was waiting for her pay to be paid. I give her about 3 months. So I was like, no, come on, do better. Otherwise people aren't gonna do it again.
I won't. I don't know.
It's just no.
I have got friends that have like needed to borrow like a bit of money, but they've always given it me back.
Yeah.
But I kind of know who to give it to. But then saying that, you don't know that they're not going to give it you back. Oh,
Yeah,
I don't know.
literally.
It's a tough one. I think friendship.
I think the takeaway of this is friendships. There's no right or wrong answer. We're all still trying to figure it out. And I think even till the day we're put under, we'll still be trying to figure it out. You'll probably find, if there is an afterlife, that you have friends that you thought would be at your funeral won't be at your funeral.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's the dynamics change all the time. I've got people that are older in my life, parents, whatever, who also struggle with friends, and you think, even at a grand age of 50, 60, it still doesn't end. It don't end. And I just think it's because with friends you choose people that have similar qualities or you like, but they don't necessarily feel and think the same as you, and that's what we have to remember.
And it's okay to break up with friends.
Yeah, morals are
It's
different.
fine. It's fine if you're not friends anymore, whether it's because you've been betrayed or not, or whether you've just fizzled out. It's fine. Not all friendships need salvaging, and not all friendships are positive or good for you. It's fine to break up with friends. It's just accepting it, isn't it?
Yeah,
and navigating
100%.
But treat it like a breakup. I think you need to.
Yeah,
you
mourn
need
it,
to mourn
cry.
it. Yeah.
Feel the emotions, absolutely. And like Tyler just said, I think one thing there is to take away from this is it happens to us all. You are not alone. We've been through
Literally.
it. We're going to continue to go through it. It's not a reflection of you. It might not be anything to do with what you've done. So in that aspect, unfortunately, you're just going to have to mourn it, feel the emotions. And also, don't live in regret. Don't live with regret. We have different feelings about things. I am more of a let things go type of person, but it doesn't always end up doing me any favours. Tyler's kind of not, and that is also okay. But just do what's right for you. Whatever it is, whatever's right for you, just do that and don't live with regret. I don't live with regret for forgiving these people. It didn't work out, but I know it's a good reflection on my character, and I don't feel any other way towards it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, you unfortunately, guys.
And there's no right or wrong when it comes to things like this.
I'm just wiping snot on my hands.
She's all snotty.
But yeah, we did have a question of the week, but I think we've spoken over. So
we'll
leave that till next week.
I don't want that to just be quick because I can.
Yeah,
We'll do that at the start next week.
yeah, we will. But yeah, anyway, guys, please keep interacting.
Sorry that this episode actually might be mega long.
Yeah, but you love it. You love it. Keep interacting, keep following, and
Like, share.
yeah. Follow, share, subscribe,
Follow.
like,
That's the other one.
comment, please comment,
guys.
Please. I'm even giving you
I'm
questions.
actually begging you to comment.
I'm giving you questions, and
We
you
need
don't.
engagement,
Yeah.
guys.
Please. So yeah. Bye, guys.
Thank you. Bye bye.